Ukraine is good for business. You know, right?
We are going to introduce you now to Ukraine's new owner in a minute.
They don't want to be in the news. They don't want people to talk about them. They don't want to be anywhere on the radar.
Why not?
But what they want is they want complete central control. And the way to get complete central control is to end currencies.
So all you needed to do at the beginning was follow the money.
We have already managed to attract attention and have cooperation with such giants of the international financial and investment world as BlackRock, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs.
All of these financial institutions, they buy politicians.
Listen to this, because this is very fucking wild.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon, and one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you gotta come in. You gotta come in and talk to me a second." He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." I said, "We're going to war with Iraq? Why?" He said, "I don't know."
I mean the devil.
For a moment, of course, after a war, Ukraine is going to require reconstruction. But don't you remember, like about 20 years ago, Iraq, after the Iraq War, required reconstruction?
So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, "I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today." And he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finish off Iran."
War is real good for business. I work for a company called BlackRock.
BlackRock has done a deal with Zelensky to reconstruct Ukraine after the war. But don't start thinking that a taxpayer-funded war where billions of your dollars end up in the military-industrial complex means that there's anything to consider or anything to think about when it comes to the origins of this conflict or the desired outcome.
BlackRock manages 20 trillion. It's incomprehensible numbers.
Wyobraźcie sobie firmę, która jest współwłaścicielem niemal każdej znaczącej marki we wszystkich branżach. Firmę, która posiada część udziałów i decyzyjności w takich spółkach jak Coca-Cola, Netflix, Apple, Facebook, Tesla, Mastercard, General Electric, Fox, Disney, Microsoft, Paramount, IBM, Shell, Nestle, Lloyds Bank, Citigroup, Deutsche Bank i wielu, wielu innych. Tak się składa, że nie musimy sobie tego wyobrażać, bo taka firma już istnieje i nazywa się BlackRock.
BlackRock is the largest financial institution in the world, controlling $10 trillion worth of assets and with a global presence across 30 different countries. In addition to that, it runs a program called Aladdin, which analyzes and tracks investors' portfolios, and through that, it helps to manage a further $21.6 trillion. It absolutely dominates this space and has in recent years been hiring and scooping up as many government officials as they can, even including senior advisors to multiple presidents. Despite all this, 99% of people in the world can't even tell you who Larry Fink, the founder and CEO of BlackRock, is or what he looks like. It's no wonder then that there are many different theories regarding the extent of control BlackRock has over the world, and when BlackRock comes out and says that we're about to see a new world order emerge, everyone with even half a brain cell will listen. Now, just a couple of weeks ago, BlackRock released their 2023 Global Investment Outlook, which explains exactly what's going on now and what's going to happen over the next year. The subtext is clear throughout the piece: a new playbook, a new regime playing out, and even a new world order. We're going to find out exactly what is happening and why no one is talking about it.
All industry, media, academia, and politics. Vanguard and BlackRock invest in each other through something called circular ownership. Thus, consider Vanguard and BlackRock as a monopoly that owns everything. With due diligence, you will discover that the major stakeholders of this monopoly are the Rothschild family, the DuPont family, the Rockefeller family, the Carnegie family, the Orsini family, the American Bush family, and the British royal family. They use the following foundations to ferment chaos around the world.
There's also the massive issue of BlackRock's power itself, with numerous people all over the world claiming that BlackRock is secretly pulling the strings, acting as puppet master to government businesses and people, and that we simply can't trust what they say.
So BlackRock executives are meeting with Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. They've been there. They spent a nice weekend in Kiev. They wanted them to know now who owns Ukraine from top to bottom. It's BlackRock. So BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world. It has massive ownership in, by the way, 7 top Russian companies, as well as major infrastructure across Russia. So it owns a lot of Russia as well. And it reminds me, I mean, they profit off of war either way, right? This is how it works.
Chcesz zobaczyć więcej filmów takich jak ten? Koniecznie daj znać w komentarzach i subskrybuj ten kanał. Ze względu na cenzurę większość filmów znajdziesz tylko na platformie Rumble, gdzie też serdecznie zapraszam. Link znajdziesz w wpisie pod tym filmem. Przygotowanie tych wszystkich informacji zajmuje mi sporo czasu, więc jeśli uważasz to, że przekazuję i udostępniam za wartościowe, rozważ także wsparcie mnie w sposób finansowy.
Others have noted that BlackRock is a top beneficial owner of shares in major arms manufacturers who are reaping immense profits from the war in Ukraine, with tens of billions invested in Lockheed Martin, Boeing, General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman and Raytheon. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be spending a lot of American taxpayer dollars on buying arms to defend Ukraine from Russia, which will obviously escalate this conflict, meaning Ukraine will suffer critical damages and will need reconstruction. Oh my God, that's going to be expensive. Yes, that's part of the beauty of the plan. Because we sell the weapons that mean that they get more bombed, and then when they need to rebuild Ukraine, guess who rebuilds it? Someone else? No, not someone else. Us!
With BlackRock. And now they own 30% of Ukraine, which is a low number, relatively speaking. But so they really want to own the whole enchilada, is what they're going for.
Which is interesting because it used to be during war that it was weapons makers that profited off of both sides. We don't see that anymore because Russia and China make their own. And so it's not just one, and who is the new kingmakers of war is money.
Now, if you want to see why Tucker Carlson, our friend, was pulled off the air at Fox, look no further than this segment where he names names and calls out BlackRock. Just a few months ago, this is January, this segment aired, and then after, and it was revealed that Zelensky was already having meetings with BlackRock. Watch this amazing moment.
Destroyed Ukraine, killed over 100,000 Ukrainians, but it's still going. Why is that? Because the Biden administration has kept it going. They could have forced a peace. They haven't. They don't want to. Why is that? Why kill all these Ukrainians? Why destroy an entire country? Well, because people are getting rich. BlackRock plans to get rich. So BlackRock is now saying out loud that the war in Ukraine, the death of all these Ukrainians, is actually a great opportunity to transform Ukraine into a beacon of capitalism. Right.
That BlackRock's new role in Ukraine could draw accusations of corruption. When did you become so cynical, man? With some noting that the company's managing director, Eric Van Nostrand, was hired straight into a senior advisory position in the Biden administration's Treasury Department just this past August, explicitly to shape US economic policy on Russia and Ukraine. Oh, you think just because the company's managing director, Eric Van Nostrand, was hired straight into a senior advisory position in Biden's administration, and now BlackRock are actually going to be actively involved in the reconstruction of Ukraine, that there's some sort of corruption? Eric Van Nostrand is a party coordinator that we put to give you the best birthday party ever, and all BlackRock has ever wanted is for you to be happy.
Let me tell you, it's not through who's the president. It's who's controlling the wallet.
Stop.
The hedge funds, BlackRock, the banks. These guys run basically we have the system in place. First, there's the Senate space. And these guys are rich. You got 10 grand, you can buy a senator. I can give you 500K right now. No questions asked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. We're done.
Does everybody do that? Does BlackRock do that?
It doesn't matter who wins.
You're so right.
They're in my pocket at this point.
BlackRock in Ukraine, taxpayers paying for the war, so that, and all the war bills, so all of the taxpayers, you guys are paying for all of the weapons. You guys are paying for all of the bullets. You guys are paying for all of this. You guys are paying for because of higher inflation. All of it because of Ukraine. And then who profits? It's BlackRock. They get to swoop in at these deeply discounted, war-torn prices. Hey, we've got it's like a Crazy Eddie sale, for Memorial Day. Hey, we've got a war on. We've got great prices this war. Come on, who wants to come in and support it? And BlackRock swoops in with all of their money. So you're funding it, and they get to reap it, the harvest of it all. Here's Going Underground. This is a good tweet. Ukraine being privatized and sold off to companies like BlackRock while being enslaved to the International Monetary Fund, the United States, and the EU.